leaders on the constitution of the IEBC, the reconstitution of IEBC. There's one issue that has been raised, Bwana Poghisio, and that is the inclusion of one of the nominees to the commission whose name was not initially on the shortlist that was published on the dailies before the interviews. Hassanur Hassan is among 6 nominees whose names were introduced much later in the process. Now, these are issues that could raise legal challenges for the incoming IEBC. Are we saying that simply because we have time constraints, we should ignore some of these things?
Fred, and also we have a parliament that will pass anything as they're told to pass. It's very clear. The parliamentarians said one day that these CS nominees are not qualified. They do not, and they went ahead to get them sworn in. The reason I'm saying this is you should expect this from the other side, which is not in government. You should expect this. Why were people surprised? If you are in government, why are you surprised that Kalonzo Musyoka has raised those kind of issues? What is his role? What's the role? And you can, as you can see, those are very senior lawyers. They have a way, and they also get intelligence information. They have a way of looking at that list and determining that list is probably put there to favor one side. And who says, and I can see the arguments, who says that IEBC does not have an influence on an election? Okay? Definitely, they have an influence on election. If this election goes this way, they can also select field workers and put people from there who can be very hard on you. It happens. So I'm just thinking we should be able to say, allow these opposition figures to also raise their voices. Why are we suppressing them? If they don't raise these things on behalf of other wananchi, their party members will begin to think they have been compromised. They will begin to think now, you guys have already gone to this broad-based system of government. So allow these guys to stand firm. They need to stand firm because what used to be Azimio is now split. And because of that, the remaining part of Azimio needs to be strong. And allow them to challenge these names. They have every right to challenge. After all, it is the process which is being challenged. How did you arrive at all these guys? Okay, the interviews were done. But when people raise the issue of 6 new names being introduced, and now one of them has landed here out of the 6, definitely you have to allow these guys to question some of these things. It is now going to be upon the government side, upon our parliamentarians here, to explain why was it important to introduce new 6 and for one of those to end up there. Was there something deliberate about it? And then look at the 5 names, look at the 6 names. Okay, the chairman just chairs, okay? Let's have a chairman, you can have a chairman. The questions about the chairman will come later when people look at whether he was actually qualified or not, but that doesn't matter. And I'm one of those people who will say, I'll be very happy if a chairman is from one of these, very minority tribes, because I have always insisted we need to give a chance to minorities in this politics of ours, even for the presidency. However, for the 6 members that have been nominated, let's have a look at them. Let's be critical about who they are. You remember, by the way, that the crisis of IEBC in the last election comes out of this kind of situation. If there's a split, they make our elections very difficult. If they have got sides, if they take sides, like the last ones would take sides, they make our elections difficult. So we cannot say that it is not important. It's very important who becomes part of the IEBC, yes. Especially the chair, the panel. I mean, the rest of the members of the council, whatever, the members of IEBC. So that the chairman is simply a chair, but he then becomes the one that announces, the one that finally announces. And the crisis of that last election is he could decide what to announce. And so these things are very important. I don't know how, when I'm listening to the other side, the government side, saying IEBC doesn't vote. So why were we in a crisis last year, 2 years ago, that led to the Supreme Court? Why were we in there? Because it's possible that it can be manipulated if there are not discussions. So what Kalonzo Musyoka is simply saying, he's simply saying that we needed a consultation, because this is not about president only. It's about political parties. The president, being head of a political party, should have been able to say to his colleagues who are heads of political parties, is the process okay? Can we discuss? Can we meet? And there's nothing wrong with that kind of discussion. Yeah. What they're saying is basically saying, we have issues to raise. Can we then meet and raise? Because this thing's going now to Parliament. It will go to Parliament, okay? Parliamentarians will probably do what they need to do. But it will be very important for the process to be trusted.
Yes. Senator Mungatana, you must agree that the issue that has beleaguered any electoral body in Kenya is an issue of trust.